Trust the Profits Breeders' Cup coverage is brought to you by PlayUp Racebook, the most horse player friendly racebook in the industry. PlayUp Racebook is always your best bet.
Bubba Booey. Trust the Profits formula here, and we're talking about the 2022 Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint, sporting a little bit of the King Buffalo here. It's not a promotion, just like the band. That's all you need to know. We got ourselves a possible field here, some possibles, some probables. No one knows what the field is exactly just yet. Maybe someone does. I don't. Not on October 24th when the race is going to be run on November 5th of 2022 at Keeneland. It's a G1, 5.5 furlongs. What we got here are jockeys that have historically run with these horses before. Not necessarily the jockeys that will be running with those horses on that day. You'll notice no Lieutenant Dan in here. Lieutenant Dan hasn't worked out since August, so we are going to consider him not in this race. If he was in this race, heavy consideration for Lieutenant Dan. But let's move on. Who do we got here? Golden Pal. 4 races, 3 wins. Damn fine horse. 8 wins in 12 races. I mean, you have to consider Golden Pal, absolutely. Winner of the Woodford G2, Troy Stakes, and Shakertown in 2022. Those were his 3 wins. And he won this race last year in 2021. The only negatives, King Stand, it's a G1 race, placed in 16th, 2022. The Nunthorpe, another G1, he placed in 7th. These are both races where he shipped. Obviously, sticking in the United States is a good idea for Golden Pal. Shipping across has not worked out so well so far. So Golden Pal, got to imagine, going to be somewhere in the top 3. Moving on, we got CASA. 5 races this year, 2 wins in those 5 races. Most recently, he came in 5th at the Coolmore, but he has won 2 G1s this year. 4-star Dave and Jaipur. Pretty damn impressive. But let's note this, as we've noted before, 8th place at the BC Mile last year and in Del Mar, 12th place the year before that. If we're going to consider him for the sprint, is that more his speed? Is he more of a sprinter, less of a miler? Let's wait and see. Don't know with Casa Creed, but the fact that he hasn't placed well in previous Breeders' Cup races. Have a little bit more beer. Not a great consideration for Casa Creed, in my opinion. Moving on, I like HIGHFIELD Princess a lot. 5 wins, 9 races in 2022. Last 3 races, you got 3 wins. 3 G1s. Flying 5, Nunthorpe, and the Arc Prix Maurice de Guiste. Easy for you to say. Had 10 races in 2021, but nothing compared to what we've seen in 2022. I mean, this has been a banner year for HIGHFIELD Princess. Has yet to race in the U.S., so that's a consideration, but I got HIGHFIELD Princess pretty high up on my list. Spoiler alerts. Moving on. We've got Creative Force, has yet to win in 2022. 3rd in the British Champion Sprint Stakes, and 2nd in the Platinum Jubilee in 2022. So pretty good year so far, just hasn't gotten that illustrious win. In 2021, did win the British Champion Sprint Stakes, so has done some pretty impressive stuff before. Streak of 4 wins in 2021, so obviously a better 2021 than 2022, but could end it with a bang if Creative Force puts a dent in the Breeders' Cup Sprint here. Bran. 3 wins, 2 second places, 2 third places out of 8 races. I mean, that's pretty damn impressive. Wins the FanDuel Turf Sprint, a G2, over Artemis City Limits. Won the Daytona Stakes. It's a G3, and the Siren Lure Stakes in 2022. 3 pretty impressive wins. Nearly perfect in terms of staying in the money. Definitely took a step forward this year since moving over to U.S. soil. Also was impressive before that, but just really hasn't missed a beat and has looked really good under John Sadler. Bran, very strong horse. Arrest Me Red, special spot in my heart for Arrest Me Red. 1 and 2 in 4 races this year. 6 wins in 11 lifetime races. That's a pretty good batting percentage right there. Winner of the Twin Spires Turf Sprint. 1 3/4 over Bran, who we just mentioned, and Gregorian Chant. Second place at the Jaipur, which is half a length behind Casa Creed. So Arrest Me Red been looking really good in 2022. Most recently got third place at the FanDuel Turf Sprint Stakes at Kentucky Downs behind Bran and Artemis City Limits. Arrest Me Red, definitely high on my list. Who else we got here? Dancing Buck. Recent winner of the Belmont Turf Sprint Stakes, 3 wins in 6 races in 2022. In that Sprint Stakes race, 5 lengths over Voodoo Zip and Yes and Yes. 2 horses that I really like as well. Previously lost by a nose at Saratoga to Thin White Duke. 3 wins in last 4 races, 2 of those being allowance races, but Dancing Buck looking really impressive in 2022. What else we got here? Best of the Rest. Freedom Speaks, 3-year-old filly. Looking impressive. 3 wins in 5 races, but in the one grade two she was in, came in fourth place. Probably not her time just yet. Art Power, one grade three win in 2022, eighth and eighth and 2 grade 1s. So probably not up to the speed for Art Power, not just yet at least. Emirati Anna, fourth in the sprint last year, so has to be in consideration. But unimpressive since. Has netted two impressive races recently, a second and a third, but there was a gap in between where it was just not looking really good for Emirati Anna. Flotus won a G3 this year, 2/3 and a couple G1s, but also had a couple tens in there as well. Up and down year for Flotus, I guess is probably the best way to describe that 2022. Go Bears Go, unimpressive in the last couple G1s. Ladies Church, interesting horse. Poor showing in the Flying Five and Ascot, but a series of firsts and seconds for Ladies Church. Interesting horse. I'm just not sure I'm going to use Ladies Church in this race. Oceanic, consideration, second at the Woodford Stakes, first in the Woodford Reserve. I mean, if this horse is running in anything after Woodford Reserve, named after Woodford Reserve, consideration obviously. Romantic Proposal, 1 win sandwiched in between some really ugly looking races, couple 10th places and a ninth. I'm going to toss Romantic Proposal and White Lavender, sticking close in the G1 and G2 races. Kind of an interesting horse to consider here. Definitely an underneath type horse. Second in the Longchamp G1 that had earlier in October. So White Lavender, possibly an underneath. But really, what are my plays here? What am I looking at? Highfield Princess. I will take Highfield Princess over Golden Pal. Golden Pal winning last year, tons of wins this year. Highfield Princess also a number of wins. I just feel it's probably her time to win here over Golden Pal. I also like Bran, Arrest Me Red, and Dancing Buck. So you play that key. You want to add in 4 more, which is a few more than I add in. But hey, we're talking about a turf race in Breeders' Cup. Got to add another one, right? You gotta cover your ground here because, especially in these turf races, you could see some long dollar amounts come in. I feel Princess is my key. Golden Pal, Bran, Arrest Me Red, and Dancing Buck. No odds given at this time. Merely going off of the odds that I think will be given. But these are my plays right now. I'm guessing that Golden Pal is going to probably take the chalk here, and Highfield Princess. I don't know if you're going to get a good number, maybe 3-1 at best, but that is the way I'm going. Anyhow, what do you guys think? Drop it in the comments. Thank you as always for watching, and hope to see you soon.